So, when you think of SpongeBob games, what do you usually think of? Probably some like a platformer. When I usually think of SpongeBob games, I usually think of some game collections and adventure games. Yeah, it's bizarre, but welcome to the world of PC licensed games. Probably the most bizarre one of these is SpongeBob Bikini Bottom. You may know it as a platformer on consoles, but on PC, it was a minigame collection. A quite bizarre one at that, so enough chatter, let's take a look at it, shall we? The plot is fairly similar to the console games, and where playing to build zombie robots, they are complete failures, go out, destroy Bikini Bottom, and now it's up to SpongeBob and his friends to come together to destroy the robots and save Bikini Bottom. The plot is very simplistic, and I like it that way. It gets the job done, so enough of that, let's get on to the gameplay, shall we? Bikini Bottom is broken up into 5 parts, the first of which I started was the Chum Bucket, so let's start there, shall we? The first game we start in the Chum Bucket is called Sneaky Feet. It's a top-down stealth game where you have to avoid robots. No, this is not Metal Gear SpongeBob, and yes, this is not very fun. The main problem with this minigame is that the area is too large for SpongeBob's slow movement speed, so exploring for items and having to find all the keys and special stuff can be a bit of a drag, especially when you're down to have one last item. Next minigame is a puzzle where to pull a series of switches in order to get arms to attract what you're blocking your way to the next area. The problem with this minigame is that it never explains that you have to do different things with the switches for each level. First level is 2 switches of the same color, second level it's 2 switches of different colors, and the third level it's 4 switches of the opposite color at the same time. Next minigame, you get to take control of Sandy. Simple as draw a circle around your enemies so she can hit them with your lasso. It's simple but a little bit finicky because your circle's too large, it'll continuously undo itself. It gets old after a while. The final minigame here is Whack-A-Mole. Not much to say here, it's Whack-A-Mole. Next up is the Shipwreck. First minigame here is Capture Flag. Not much to go off here, it's Capture Flag, but with pirate robots. Next minigame is a simple puzzle minigame. You just simply have to push the crates into the hole. It's as simple as that. Next minigame lets you play as Mr. Krabs. Basically just walk around, collect money, put it in barrels, and fight robots in a fighting game style kind of minigame. Final minigame here is just a simple catch the falling thing minigame. The only thing that makes this game different is the fact that it's one of the most annoying sounds in the world. Great! Next up is the Kelp Forest. First minigame here is Vine Swing. Not much to do, you just swing from vine to vine. Hope the enemies on the ground don't kill you. Next minigame simply requires you to move a series of rafts around so you can get your raft to the end of the area. Next minigame is kind of like Flappy Bird. You have to guide Gary through a series of obstacles and not get hit. Kind of like Flappy Gary, basically. Final minigame here is just Snake with Gary. Not much to say here, but it has cool car sounds with it. And now,
to the Mermalair!
First minigame here simply requires you to jump from platform to platform in a straight up direction. It's kind of finicky, but it gets the job done. Next minigame requires you to simply match some stalactites together in the right order. Not much to go off here. Next minigame simply requires you to climb down ropes, while Scooter makes incredibly annoying noises and complains the whole way down. Sounds about normal. Next minigame is Simon. I mean dancing! Not what to go off here, it's just Simon. First minigame here is basically Frogger, not what to say. Next minigame here is just simply a match 2 game. Now to go off here, I think they're running out of ideas. Next minigame, let's take control of Patrick. You're simply throwing cancer robots. Again, I think they were really running dry on ideas. Final minigame here is just basically Wii Sports Bowling with Patrick. Not a lot to say here. There are 2 other kinds of minigames that I did not go over in this review, which are basically just some put in the right place minigames and trivia. Trivia is really simple and stupid, so now I'll go in there. Worst problem with most all the minigames in general is that they have all these items you need to collect. If you don't collect these items, you have to start the minigame all over again from scratch, so if you miss one item, you have to go through the whole thing all over again. It gets old. On the graphics, now to look at here, it's pretty simplistic and it looks pretty awkward at times, especially during the 2 cutscenes. In terms of voice acting, just listen.
To the dance floor!
Overall, just a bizarre little game. If you have a little bit of time and maybe a couple bucks to spare, check it out, just for fun and giggles. Outside that, don't waste your money, it's nothing special.
Ah!